Hey, what's going on everybody, and welcome back to the wonderful world of Skyrim. Today we are taking a look at some of the really cool and interesting mods that have come out during the week, so sit back, relax, buckle up, and get ready to take a look at some cool mods. For our first mod, we're actually going to be taking a look at the Skyrim map. And if there's one thing that I think of when I think of the vanilla Skyrim map, it's, oh man, is this confusing. There's just so many shapes and 3D space going on. I can actually navigate through the world in an open skybox and see all of the really cool details of the map. That's just too complicated for me. My small brain can't comprehend all of the motion that's happening. Oh yeah, that's better. To fix this, we're taking a look at the mod Geology Survey Map by pavelk. Now, all jokes aside, the vanilla Skyrim map is super incredible. It's such a really unique take on the map. However, there are some really neat map alternatives using the same system, and specifically, this mod actually utilizes the flat map markers as well as the flat world map framework, and makes some changes to the Skyrim topographical map by Timothy Cook to make a really interesting geology-based survey map. So it has all of the locations that you would normally see on the Skyrim map, but it also has some really interesting markings. Specifically, some really interesting cave entrance symbols as well as ruins, tombs, camps, mines, etc. But added by this mod, we also have different ore veins. So if you really like to get your mining on in Skyrim, this map will actually tell you not only where a bunch of ore veins are on the map, but also what kind they are. And they will have symbols that say whether they are iron, corundum, silver, moonstone, ebony, etc. Any ore you could possibly need, you'll find it on this map. As well as if it is a mine, it will display what is the primary type of ore in that mine. As obviously when you go to mines, there's all kinds of ores in there, but whichever one is the most abundant is what is displayed on this map. The base topography map that was present in Timothy Cook's mod was already really great, but having this little bit of functionality as well is also super cool. Really interesting little bit of utility that I've never seen represented in Skyrim before, and this could prove to be pretty useful. If you're trying to grind your blacksmithing the authentic way, you're going to need to know where all of these are, so that way you don't have to buy the same ores and ingots over and over again. You can actually go out and get them. Pairing this with the mod that actually gives you experience for mining, and that's a pretty cool combo, gotta say. As of right now, this mod is currently only available for PC version of Skyrim Special Edition, but keep a lookout for ports if you do like this one. Moving on, as is tradition for any mods weekly in Skyrim, we are checking out a house mod, and that's going to be Mazgrims Stronghold by FrostyDudes17. Now, in the first mods weekly, we took a look at a vampire-themed house. The second one, we had a wizard-themed house, and now we have an orc-themed house, which is one that I don't see often. Now, this is going to really mimic the style of the orc strongholds that are scattered across Skyrim, and I really like that. If anybody's trying to play an orc-themed character, having this as a nice little home or outpost is super cool. It's a very open layout with all of the features you could possibly need, and some really nice barricades that make this thing feel protected from the outside world. Lots of really cool ropes strung all the way across, as well as the nice little orc hut structures, and even a really nice setup blacksmithing station. You can also find the chief's hut, which is where you're going to be able to sleep and store all of your items, as well as have a nice little weapon rack to display some of your favorite weapons. This is a really interesting and neat player home. You'd think with as many player homes as exist in Skyrim that you'd run out of ideas eventually, but this one is totally unique, and I really enjoy it. I don't often play orc characters, but if I ever did, you can guarantee that this is going right into my load order. This also comes with much of the expected clutter and detail for a player home mod, with all kinds of scattered things all over the place, especially in the alchemy and enchanting area. There's all kinds of ingredients, potions, gems, just stuff that you would normally see in a player home mod, but with the nice added touch of it being orc-themed, which is cool. In order to get to the Mazgrim Stronghold, you're actually going to need to head about northeast from Markarth, head up the ways a little bit. It's right next to the Shrine of Periite, right there, and it has a nice orc stronghold symbol. Pretty easy to find. Overall, really nice, really simple, and honestly my favorite part, no loading screens. This is an open player home. Even the chief's hut, the door just opens right up. You don't have to load into it. It just works, which super cool. Gotta love that. This is yet another one that is currently only on PC Special Edition. However, again, check out for ports in the near future. Hopefully this one does make it to Legendary Edition or even Xbox. Moving on to our next mod, we have a weapon pack, and that's going to be Wrought Iron Weaponry by Carboniac. Now, I know what you're thinking. Dak, this looks just like the Iron Weapons Redone mod that you covered last week, and in your standalone video. Well, that's because it is. It totally is. But it's different now. This does, in fact, use the Iron Weapons Redone pack by El Sopa. However, with the El Sopa mod, that is a replacer. That is going to remove the iron weapons from the vanilla game and replace them with El Sopa's recreations, which are wonderful mods. But Carboniac has gone ahead and made 2 different versions of this mod for everybody. So if you don't want to replace the iron weapons, you just want to add more variety, you download this mod. Wrought Iron Weaponry will take all of those redone models and textures and turn them into standalone weapons that will be called Wrought Iron Swords, Wrought Iron Axes, etc. So, there are 2 different versions of the mod. One of them makes them craftable only, and the other one will actually add them to the leveled lists. Now, I do this with another mod that replaces the iron weapons, that is Nord War's Iron Weapons Replacer, and doing that is pretty cool, having multiple sets of iron weapons. That way, when you fight those bandits in the early level, they always have different gear. Adding this into the mix too would make your enemies very varied. There's a lot of variety to be had with this, as well as the vanilla iron weapons, and even, like I said, Nord War's iron weapons. All standalone, having that variety makes it feel so realistic. You wouldn't see the same axe over and over and over again. This gives every bandit some unique character. Even though it's really simple stuff, it makes them feel special. And fighting the same bandits over and over again, especially in, say, vanilla Skyrim, it just gets old. Why would their swords all look identical? This fixes that, which is super cool. Or, like I said, you can download the version that just makes it crafting only, and it'll just add these new weapons craftable at any smithing station. Either way, fantastic mod, and sadly another one that is currently only PC Special Edition. Our next mod, however, is going to be on Special Edition for PC and Xbox, so really cool for you Xbox users. We're checking out Oblivion Interaction Icons by RBT. And this does exactly what it sounds like. It's going to replace all of the interaction icons with the Oblivion variants. So if you want to pick up a weapon, you will see the nice little hand. If you want to interact with, say, a shrine, there will be another symbol for that as well. Or opening containers, doors, loot items, bodies, anything you can imagine. Harvesting plants even has its own symbol. It's just like Oblivion, which is super cool. It adds some really unique character to looting items. It's a really small touch, but something very nice, especially if you have nostalgia for Oblivion, which I'm sure is a good amount of people. I really like that the icons are even colored depending on if you are stealing or just looting. This is a very simple mod, no requirements whatsoever, you just download it and go. It just works, which is incredible, and really cool to see this available for Xbox as well. Overall, just a nice little aesthetic touch that you can throw into your game if you want to make it feel a little bit more like Oblivion. And that's really all there is to it. So, moving on to the next mod, which is actually going to be the last mod of this video. And it's one that I'm kind of late to the punch to. I didn't really notice it until it reached Hot Mods. That's going to be the Redoran Exile Armor by Pulcharmsolis. This mod is going to add some very, very cool Dunmer light armor, inspired actually by Ruffin Vanguard's mod for Morrowind, which is just fitting. So, this armor is supposed to represent members who have been exiled from House Redoran, who even after exile will usually end up serving House Redoran just outside of the settlements, and will often protect the people from nature or any harm that may be coming their way. This armor features some scrolls that are attached all over the armor pieces that are supposed to represent the final messages from their family and friends before they were sent out into exile, which is a super cool and unique touch. Definitely very interesting. This is an excellent armor for anybody who's role-playing as a Dark Elf character, but of course you can use it as anybody. Now, you can actually find this armor on a body that is in the Temple Ancestral Tomb inside of Raven Rock, or you can actually craft it, which is going to have the same crafting requirements as Bone Mold armor. There are 2 different versions of the helmet, one of which is open-faced, the other is closed, and altogether this is just going to add some really unique armor to the game. Super cool addition to all of the armors available in the Dragonborn DLC. This fits right at home in Raven Rock. In my opinion, this style of armor with the combined armor pieces as well as robes would fit very well for, say, a battle mage character. Definitely worth downloading, and if you want to try it yourself, you definitely can because it's available for PC on both Special Edition and Legendary Edition, as well as on Xbox. So if you want to try it, it's out there. So with that, we bring this video to a close. If you want to try any of these mods available in the video, If you want to try any of these mods that were featured in the video, they will be available in the links down in the description below as always. And don't forget to go out there and support your mod authors. They put a lot of time and effort into these mods, so your support is always appreciated. If you enjoyed a mod, endorse it. Consider donating if that's something you're able to do, but most of all, like I said, just show your appreciation for all of their hard work. And if you enjoyed this video, drop a rating, subscribe if you haven't already for more videos just like this, and I hope to see you in the next one. Peace! And hey, shout out to all of our patrons for their continued support. As always, your donations are greatly appreciated and help to fund videos just like this one, so again, thank you.